Imagine this, you wake up tomorrow and everything you've built, your career, your savings, your routine, is gone. You're back to square one. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But here's the thing, starting over doesn't have to be a disaster. In fact, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Why? Because this time you'll know exactly what to do. Today, I'm sharing exactly how I would grow my life and money again if I were starting from scratch. Let's turn this fresh start into your biggest win. Let's be real for a second. Starting from zero sucks. It's like standing at the bottom of a mountain with no gear, no map, and no idea how to climb. Maybe you've been there, I know I have. No money in the bank, no clear plan for the future, and that sinking feeling that you're falling behind while everyone else is moving forward. It's overwhelming. It's scary. And honestly, it's easy to feel stuck. Like no matter what you do, you're just spinning your wheels. Think about it, you wake up one day and everything you've worked for is gone. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you made some bad financial decisions. Or maybe life just threw you a curveball you didn't see coming. Suddenly, you're back at square one. No savings. No routine. No direction. And the worst part? You don't even know where to start. You're staring at this blank canvas and instead of feeling inspired, you feel paralyzed. But here's the thing, starting over doesn't have to be a disaster. In fact, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Why? Because this time you get to do it differently. You get to build something better. Something stronger. Something that actually works for you. A clean slate isn't just a challenge, it's an opportunity. It's your chance to rewrite the script, to create a life that's not just about surviving, but thriving. So, if you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just plain lost, this is for you. Because the truth is, we all start somewhere. And sometimes, starting from scratch is exactly what we need to finally get it right. Now, let's talk about what you're going to get out of this. I'm not here to give you some vague, feel-good advice that doesn't actually help. I'm here to give you a clear, step-by-step plan, the exact steps I would take if I were starting over today. This isn't theory. This isn't fluff. This is real, actionable advice that you can start using right now. By the end of this, you're going to have a roadmap, a blueprint, a game plan for how to rebuild your life and your money from the ground up. We're talking about how to reset your mindset so you're not just surviving, but thriving. How to create a simple, effective routine that sets you up for success every single day. How to manage your money so you're not just scraping by, but actually building wealth. And how to surround yourself with the right people who will lift you up, not hold you back. This isn't just about getting back to where you were. This is about creating something even better. Something that's not just stable, but unstoppable. Whether you're starting with nothing or just feel like you're stuck in a rut, this is your chance to turn things around. So, if you're ready to stop feeling overwhelmed and start taking control, stick with me. Because by the time we're done here, you're going to have everything you need to start growing your life and your money, no matter where you're starting from. Step 1. Reset your mindset. Let's start with the most important step, your mindset. Because here's the truth. If your mindset isn't right, nothing else will work. You can have the best routines, the perfect money plan, and all the resources in the world. But if your head isn't in the game, you're going to struggle. So, before we talk about anything else, we need to talk about how you think. When you're starting from scratch, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I'm starting over because I failed. But let me tell you something, that's the wrong way to look at it. Starting over isn't a failure. It's an opportunity. It's your chance to do things differently this time. To build something better. To create a life that's not just about getting by, but about thriving. So, how do you reset your mindset? Here's what I would do if I were starting over today. 1. Stop comparing yourself to others. This is huge. When you're starting from zero, it's easy to look at everyone around you and feel like you're falling behind. But here's the thing, everyone's journey is different. Comparing yourself to someone else is like comparing apples to oranges. It doesn't make sense, and it only makes you feel worse. Focus on your own path, your own progress, your own wins. 2. Embrace the process. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. And when you're starting over, it's important to embrace that process. Celebrate the small wins, the tiny steps forward, because those small wins add up. They build momentum. And before you know it, you're not just moving, you're flying. 3. Shift from I have to I get to. This is a game changer. Instead of thinking, I have to start over, start thinking, I get to start over. It's a subtle shift, but it makes a world of difference. When you think, I have to. It feels like a burden, like something you're forced to do. But when you think, I get to, it feels like an opportunity, like a gift. And that shift in perspective can completely change how you approach your journey. 4. Focus on what you can control. When you're starting over, it's easy to feel like everything is out of your control. But the truth is, there's always something you can control. Maybe it's your daily routine. Maybe it's how you spend your time. Maybe it's the people you surround yourself with. Focus on those things. Take control of what you can, and let go of what you can't. 5. Believe in yourself. This might sound cheesy, but it's true. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. You have to believe that you can do this, that you can grow, that you can build something amazing, because you can. And the sooner you start believing that, the sooner you'll start seeing results. So before you do anything else, take a moment to reset your mindset. Shift from I'm starting over to I'm building something better. Because that's exactly what you're doing. And with the right mindset, you're already halfway there. Step 2. Build a foundation with small wins. Now that we've reset your mindset, it's time to start building. But here's the thing, when you're starting from scratch, you can't just jump into massive changes. That's a recipe for burnout. Instead, you need to start small. Tiny, manageable steps that set the tone for your day and build momentum over time. Because small wins lead to big wins. And those small wins? They're the foundation of everything. Let me break it down for you. Here's how I would build a foundation with small wins if I were starting over today. 1. Start with one tiny habit. The key here is to keep it simple. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Instead, pick one tiny habit that you can do every day. Something so small that it feels almost too easy. For example, wake up 15 minutes earlier than usual. Write down one goal for the day. Spend 5 minutes stretching or doing light exercise. Read one page of a book. The point isn't to do something huge. The point is to do something consistent. Because consistency is what builds momentum. 2. Anchor your habit to something you already do. One of the easiest ways to stick to a new habit is to anchor it to something you already do every day. For example, if you want to start journaling, do it right after you brush your teeth in the morning. If you want to start exercising, do it right before you take a shower. If you want to start reading, do it right before you go to bed. By anchoring your new habit to an existing one, you're more likely to remember to do it and more likely to stick with it. 3. Celebrate every win, no matter how small. Here's the thing about small wins, they're easy to overlook. But if you want to build momentum, you need to celebrate them. Every single one. Did you wake up 15 minutes earlier today? Celebrate it. Did you write down your goals? Celebrate it. Did you stretch for 5 minutes? Celebrate it. Celebrating your wins, no matter how small, releases dopamine in your brain. And dopamine? That's the feel-good chemical that makes you want to keep going. So, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. Give yourself a pat on the back. Because every small win is a step in the right direction. 4. Stack your habits. Once you've mastered one tiny habit, it's time to stack another one on top of it. This is called habit stacking, and it's a game changer. For example, after you wake up 15 minutes earlier, spend 5 minutes writing down your goals. After you write down your goals, spend 5 minutes stretching. After you stretch, spend 5 minutes reading. By stacking your habits, you create a routine that flows naturally. And before you know it, you've built a morning routine that sets the tone for your entire day. 5. Focus on progress, not perfection. Here's the thing, you're not going to be perfect. And that's okay. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Did you miss a day? That's fine. Just start again the next day. Did you only do half of what you planned? That's still a win. The key is to keep moving forward. Because progress, no matter how small, is still progress. So, start small. Build your foundation with tiny, consistent wins. And before you know it, those small wins will add up to something big. Because here's the truth, you don't have to do everything at once. You just have to start. And once you start, the momentum will carry you forward. Step 3. Create a simple money plan. Alright, let's talk about money. Because let's be real, when you're starting from scratch, money is usually one of the biggest stressors. You might feel like you don't have enough to even think about saving or investing. But here's the thing, you don't need a lot of money to start managing it well. What you need is a plan. A simple, actionable plan that you can stick to no matter how much or how little you're making right now. If I were starting over today, here's the exact system I'd use to manage my money, save, and even start investing, even with little to no income. 1. Track every penny, yes, every penny. The first step to managing your money is knowing where it's going. And I mean every single penny. You can't fix what you don't understand. So, for the next 30 days, track every dollar you spend. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or even a notebook, whatever works for you. The goal here isn't to judge yourself. It's to get a clear picture of your spending habits. Because once you know where your money is going, you can start making smarter decisions. 2. Cut the non-essentials, but be realistic. Now that you know where your money is going, it's time to cut the fat. But here's the key, be realistic. You don't have to live like a monk. Just identify the things you're spending money on that don't really add value to your life. For example, that subscription you forgot you were paying for. Eating out multiple times a week when you could cook at home. Impulse buys that you don't really need. Cutting these non-essentials frees up cash that you can use for things that actually matter, like saving and investing. 3. Pay yourself first, even if it's just $10. This is the golden rule of personal finance. Pay yourself first. Before you pay any bills or buy anything else, set aside a small amount for savings. Even if it's just $10. The amount doesn't matter as much as the habit. Because here's the thing, when you pay yourself first, you're prioritizing your future. And over time, that small amount will grow. 4. Build a basic budget, the 50/30/20 rule. Now that you're tracking your spending and paying yourself first, it's time to create a simple budget. One of the easiest ways to do this is with the 50/30/20 rule. 50% for needs. This includes rent, utilities, groceries, and other essentials. 30% for wants. This is for things like dining out, entertainment, and hobbies. 20% for savings and debt. This is where you save for emergencies, invest, or pay off debt. This rule keeps things simple and flexible so you're not overwhelmed by complicated budgeting systems. 5. Start an emergency fund, even if it's tiny. Life happens, and when it does, having an emergency fund can save you from going into debt. Start small. Aim for $500, then work your way up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Even if you can only save $10 a week, that's $520 in a year. And trust me, having that cushion will give you peace of mind. 6. Automate everything. The easiest way to stick to your money plan? Automate it. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account, your emergency fund, and even your investment account. That way, you're not tempted to spend the money before you save it. Out of sight, out of mind. 7. Start investing, yes, even with little money. Here's the thing, you don't need to be rich to start investing. There are apps and platforms that let you start with as little as $5. The key is to start early and be consistent. Even if it's just $20 a month, that money will grow over time thanks to compound interest. Start with low-cost index funds or ETFs. They're simple, diversified, and perfect for beginners. 8. Educate yourself, but don't overwhelm yourself. Money can feel complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Start by learning the basics. Read a book, listen to a podcast, or follow a finance blog. But here's the key, don't let information overload paralyze you. You don't need to know everything to get started. Just focus on the basics and learn as you go. 9. Be patient, progress takes time. Here's the hard truth, you're not going to get rich overnight. Building wealth takes time. But if you stick to your plan, even when it feels slow, you'll get there. Celebrate the small wins along the way. Did you save $100 this month? That's a win. Did you invest for the first time? That's a win. Progress is progress, no matter how small. This system works because it's simple, flexible, and realistic. It's not about depriving yourself or making huge, overwhelming changes. It's about taking small, consistent steps add up over time. And the best part? You can start today, right now, even if you only have $10 to your name. So let's get to work. Get a skill, track your spending, cut the non-essentials, pay yourself first, and start building that emergency fund. Because here's the truth, you don't need a lot of money to start managing it well. You just need a plan. And now you've got one. Let's stack those bucks, one step at a time. Step 4, design a routine that works. Let's talk about routines. Because here's the thing, when you're starting from scratch, your daily routine is your secret weapon. It's the foundation of your productivity, your focus, and your motivation. But here's the catch, it has to work for you. Not for some productivity guru on the internet. Not for your overachieving friend. For you. If I were starting over today, here's the exact routine I'd follow to stay productive, focused, and motivated without burning out. And I'll walk you through how to design one that works for your life too. 1. Start with a morning routine, but keep it simple. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything else. But here's the thing, your morning routine doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler it is, the more likely you are to stick with it. Here's what I'd do if I were starting over. Wake up at the same time every day. Consistency is key. Even on weekends. Yes, weekends. Drink a glass of water. Your body is dehydrated after sleeping, and hydration boosts energy. Move your body for 5 to 10 minutes. Stretch, do a few push-ups, or take a quick walk. It doesn't have to be a full workout, just enough to get your blood flowing. Write down your top 3 priorities for the day. This keeps you focused on what really matters. For example, if I were starting over, my morning routine might look like this. 6:30 a.m., wake up. 6:35 a.m., drink a glass of water. 6:40 a.m., stretch for 5 minutes. 6:45 a.m., write down my top 3 priorities for the day. Simple, right? But powerful, because it sets the tone for a productive day. 2. Block your time, but be realistic. Here's the truth, you can't do everything at once. And trying to will only leave you overwhelmed and unproductive. Instead, block your time. Break your day into chunks and focus on one thing at a time. For example, morning 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. deep work. This is when I tackle my most important tasks, the ones that require focus and creativity. Afternoon, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. meetings and admin tasks. This is when I'd handle emails, calls, and other less demanding tasks. Evening, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. personal time. This is when I'd relax, spend time with family, or work on a hobby. If I were starting over, I'd use a timer to keep myself on track. For example, I'd work for 50 minutes, then take a 10-minute break. This keeps me focused without burning out. 3. Build in breaks, seriously, take them. Here's the thing, you're not a machine. You can't work nonstop without burning out. So, build breaks into your routine. And I don't mean scrolling through social media. I mean real breaks. For example, take a 10-minute walk outside. Do a quick meditation or breathing exercise. Stretch or do a few yoga poses. If I were starting over, I'd schedule these breaks into my day. Because here's the truth, breaks aren't a waste of time. They're what keep you productive in the long run. 4. End your day with a wind-down routine. How you end your day is just as important as how you start it. A good wind-down routine helps you relax, reflect, and prepare for the next day. Here's what I'd do if I were starting over. Review your day. What went well? What could you improve? This isn't about beating yourself up, it's about learning and growing. Plan for tomorrow. Write down your top 3 priorities for the next day. This helps you hit the ground running in the morning. Unplug. Turn off your phone, avoid screens, and give your brain a break. Read a book, listen to calming music, or just sit in silence. For example, if I were starting over, my wind-down routine might look like this. 8:30 p.m. Review my day and plan for tomorrow. 8:45 p.m. Read a book or listen to calming music. 9 p.m. Turn off my phone and relax. 5. Be flexible, life happens. Here's the thing, no routine is perfect. Life happens. Things come up. And that's okay. The key is to be flexible. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Just start again the next day. If your routine isn't working, tweak it. The goal isn't perfection. It's progress. This routine works because it's simple, flexible, and realistic. It's not about cramming as much as possible into your day. It's about creating a structure that helps you stay productive, focused, and motivated without burning out. And the best part? You can start today. Right now. Even if you only have 10 minutes to spare. Your routine is your foundation. And with the right foundation, you can build anything. Step 5. Surround yourself with the right people. Let's talk about the people in your life. Because here's the truth, the people you surround yourself with can make or break your growth. Think about it. When you're around positive, motivated, and supportive people, you're more likely to feel inspired, take action, and achieve your goals. But when you're around negative, toxic, or unmotivated people, it's like trying to run a marathon with weights tied to your feet. It's not impossible, but it's a lot harder. If I were starting over today, here's exactly how I'd surround myself with the right people and how you can, too. 1. Identify the energy vampires and limit your exposure. We all know them, the people who drain your energy, complain constantly, or make you feel worse about yourself. These are the energy vampires. And if you're serious about growth, you need to limit your exposure to them. That doesn't mean you have to cut them out completely unless they're truly toxic, but it does mean setting boundaries. For example, limit the time you spend with them. Avoid getting sucked into their negativity. Politely but firmly redirect conversations when they start to go downhill. If I were starting over, I'd make a list of the people in my life and ask myself, do they lift me up or drag me down? And then I'd act accordingly. 2. Seek out the builders. Builders are the people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better. They're the ones who celebrate your wins, offer constructive feedback, and genuinely want to see you succeed. These are the people you want in your corner. So, how do you find them? Here's what I'd do. Join communities or groups that align with your goals. This could be a mastermind group, a fitness class, a book club, or an online forum. Attend events or workshops where you're likely to meet like-minded people. Reach out to people you admire. Send a thoughtful message, ask for advice, or simply express your appreciation for their work. When you surround yourself with builders, you become a builder too. 3. Be a builder yourself. Here's the thing, relationships are a two-way street. If you want to surround yourself with positive, supportive people, you need to be that kind of person too. So, how do you become a builder? Here's what I'd do. Celebrate other people's wins. Be genuinely happy for their success. Offer help or advice when you can. Share your knowledge, resources, or time. Be a good listener. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is just listen. When you're a builder, you attract builders. 4. Let go of toxic relationships even if it's hard. This is the hard part. Sometimes, the people holding you back are the ones closest to you, family, friends, or even a significant other. And letting go of those relationships can be painful. But here's the thing, if someone is consistently toxic, negative, or unsupportive, they're not helping you grow. They're holding you back. And if you're serious about growth, you need to let them go. If I were starting over, I'd have the tough conversation. I'd set clear boundaries. And if necessary, I'd walk away. Because here's the truth, you can't grow if you're constantly being pulled down. 5. Build your inner circle. Your inner circle is your tribe. These are the people who know your goals, support your dreams, and hold you accountable. They're the ones you turn to for advice, encouragement, and tough love. So, how do you build your inner circle? Here's what I'd do. Start small. You don't need a huge group. Just a few trusted people who genuinely care about your growth. Be intentional. Choose people who align with your values and goals. Invest in those relationships. Spend time together, check in regularly, and show up for them. For example, if I were starting over, I'd identify 2 to 3 people who inspire me and make an effort to build deeper connections with them. Because here's the truth, your inner circle is your foundation. And with the right foundation, you can build anything. Surrounding yourself with the right people works because humans are social creatures. We're influenced by the people around us, whether we realize it or not. When you surround yourself with positive, motivated, and supportive people, you're more likely to feel inspired, take action, and achieve your goals. And when you're a builder yourself, you create a ripple effect that lifts everyone around you. Let's get real for a second. The longer you wait to start, the harder it gets to build momentum. Every day you put this off is another day you're stuck in the same place, feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or just plain frustrated. But here's the thing, you don't have to stay there. You have the power to change your life starting today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Imagine this, a year from now, you wake up with a solid routine that sets you up for success every single day. Your bank account is growing because you've finally taken control of your money. And your life? It's one you're genuinely proud of. That's not just a dream, it's possible. But it starts with one decision. One step. One action. I know it feels like a lot right now. Trust me, I've been there. But here's the truth, you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Pick one thing. Just one. And take the first step. Because once you start, the momentum will carry you forward. But you have to start. And you have to start now. So, what's your first step going to be? Maybe it's writing down your top 3 goals. Maybe it's waking up 15 minutes earlier tomorrow. Maybe it's tracking your spending for the next week. Whatever it is, do it today. Not tomorrow. Today. Because that's how change happens, one small step at a time. I want to hear from you. Comment below with one thing you're committing to change. What's your first step? I'll respond to as many comments as I can because I want to support you on this journey. Let's grow together. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Why? Because this is just the beginning. We're diving deeper into each of these steps in the next videos, more tips, more strategies, and more actionable advice to help you grow, get more done, and stack those bucks. You don't want to miss it. Remember, growth isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. So, take that first step. Let's do this together. I'll see you in the next one.